Good evening. We will begin. In compliance with the Open Meetings Act, Texas Government Code, Chapter 551, I call this meeting of the Manor Independent School District to order on.
May 18th at 5 p.m.
Let the record show that a quorum is present. This meeting has been duly called and notices of this meeting have been posted in accordance with the Open Meetings Act. The board will now adjourn into executive session at
5:01 p.m.
pursuant to the following sections of the Texas Open Meetings Act: 551.071, 551.072, 551.074, 551.076, and 551.129. Thank you. not working? I can start already. Do you want him? Yeah. Good evening, everyone. Happy Monday, and we will now reconvene an open session at,
May 18th, 5:52 PM.
let the record show, a quorum is present. Before I begin, I wanted to really share a message of gratitude for all our Manor community, for our Manor Police Department, for our staff that worked tirelessly with all the agencies, the situation that happened yesterday. And I know a lot of you have gotten very little sleep, including my superintendent. So I just want to make sure that, share that we are grateful for your hard work, for keeping us safe, and everyone for really coming together and making sure that our community is safe. Your hard work doesn't go unnoticed, and I just wanted to share gratitude from our board of directors. Thank you so much. So now we're going to start with a Pledge of Allegiance. It is my pleasure to introduce two outstanding students from Manor New Tech High School as our pledge leaders this evening. We have Legend Williams and Malaya Curry. Both students qualified for the state track meet and will also be recognized later tonight, where we will hear more about their impressive accomplishments.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, one indivisible.
And justice for all.
Under the Texas flag, I pledge allegiance to the Texas, one state under God, one and indivisible.
Thank you very much. All right, now I will take volunteers from our amazing trustees to read the vision and mission statement that will soon change. Any volunteers for the vision statement?
I'll read the vision.
Okay, trustee Rodriguez Barnett.
Manor ISD is the best district in Texas where we provide an equitable education for all scholars and graduate them ready to become leaders in our community.
Thank you very much. Do I have a volunteer for the mission statement?
Collectively, as a community, Manor ISD provides equitable resources, a safe learning environment, and high-quality educational services for all scholars to successfully achieve and reach their full potential.
Thank you very much. Trustee Patterson, we're going to go to item number 6, recognition. 6.1, May student recognition.
So Team of 8, we have some awesome recognitions this evening. We're going to close out our school year with some student athletes who represented us, Manor ISD, at the highest level of competition in Texas. But before we get started, for our students who are here today, when your name is called, if you could please stand up and walk to the left over here. Once you walk this way, you'll shake the hands of our Board of Trustees, but just wait a moment by Miss Kelly until everyone's name is called, and then we'll go ahead and get you together for a group picture. Once our student and our staff recognitions are done, we'll head outside for individual photos. So let's get started with our first sport. We have girls powerlifting state qualifiers. So Manor High School had two girls lift more than the rest, and we have Layla Stark and Kayla Garcia, who represented us at the state meet. Their coach, the girls' powerlifting coach, is Coach Velasco. For any of our coaches who are here this evening, if you don't mind, you can also come up and be recognized with your students. right in the middle. Get y'all a little closer. So if we can have you move, our group move a little to the right, that would be awesome. About one step. And then a little bit of our trustees. So for our trustees, if you can't see me, I can't see you. That's a good way to think of it. One more time on 3. 1, 2, and 3. Thank you guys. Congratulations. Next up, we have all-state and academic all-state athletes. So we have these outstanding student athletes from Manor Tech High School who earned prestigious statewide honors for this year. So please help us congratulate Isaiah Kennard, who was named to the Texas Association of Basketball Coaches All-State Team for Boys Basketball. Lily Camarena, who earned Texas High School Coaches Association Academic All-State Honors for Girls Basketball. Max Hughes, who earned Texas High School Coaches Association Academic All-State Honors for Boys Basketball. Darlene Cardenas, who earned statewide recognition through the Texas Girls Coaches Association for cheerleading. And Bailey Williams, who also earned statewide recognition through the Texas Girls Association for cheerleading. And for our final recognition this
Yeah, I was waiting.
And their coaches are Coach Morganroth for girls basketball, Coach Young for boys basketball, and Lisa Williams for cheerleading. Make sure everyone's in the shot. Perfect. Thank you guys so much. On 3, 1, 2, and 3. One more time. 1, 2, and 3. Thank you. And congratulations. And finally, we would like to recognize 3 Manor ISD student athletes who represented our district this past weekend at the UIL State Track and Field Meet. From Manor Tech High School, we have Legend Williams, who also did our pledge, who competed in the boys 800-meter run, and Malia Curry, who qualified in both the girls 100-meter and 200-meter dash. Legend, thank you. Their coaches, Coach Goley, and from Manor High School, we have Sanavia Aldridge, who completed in the girls hurdles. And her coach is Coach Jones. In the middle. Make sure we can see everyone. Okay, yeah, I was like, look, I can't see it. 1, 3, 1, 2, and 3. One more time. 1, 2, and 3. Right there, though. Make sure she can get her photo
1, 2, and 3.
Congratulations. And that concludes our student recognitions this evening.
Thank you very much. Congratulations to everyone once again.
Awesome. Well, we're going from students to staff. So we're going to go ahead and get started with our staff of the month. And just like our students, if you are here today for our staff of the month, just walk up right here, be recognized by a board of trustees, shake their hands, and then you'll wait over here by Miss Kelly. And once the group is done, we will take a group photo. And then we'll head out there for individual photos as well. From Blake Manor Elementary School, Alexi Curtis, kindergarten teacher, and Maria Espinosa, long-term substitute for pre-K.
Oh,
From Bluebonnet Trail Elementary School, Elia Reyes, first grade bilingual teacher, and Magalai Guerrero, educational assistant for pre-K general. From the CDCs, one of my baby's favorite teachers, Josie Bakasik, who is 20 years as an infant teacher. From Decker Elementary School, Rubian Bueno, fifth grade bilingual teacher, and Dennis Rodriguez, police officer. From Lagos Elementary School, Roxanne Richard, kindergarten teacher, and Patrick Mendoza, police officer. From Oak Meadows Elementary School, Nor Obregon, fourth grade bilingual teacher, and Liza Snell, educational associate. From Pioneer Crossing Elementary School, Nika Bayoy, first grade teacher, and was Welozette Duffin, assistant principal. From Presidential Meadows Elementary School, Sonia Manwani, kindergarten bilingual teacher, and Carmen Gonzalez, kitchen manager. From Shadow Glen Elementary School, Erica Rhodes, kindergarten teacher, and Jasmine Davis, educational associate. From Manor Rise Academy, Maria Jaramillo, second grade bilingual teacher, and Monica Cruz, instructional coach. From Decker Middle School, Michelle Pontish, eighth grade social studies teacher, and Kelly Garcia, emergent bilingual paraprofessional. And from Manor New Tech Middle School, Kathleen Guento, seventh grade teacher, and Samira Ruiz, kitchen manager. From Manor Excel Academy, Jennifer Urban, junior high science teacher, and Vanessa Rodriguez, re-engagement officer. And from Manor High School, Diane De Leon, college and career advisor, and Maria Hernandez, kitchen manager. And for our final staff recognition from Manor New Tech High School, Maria Plazola, science teacher, and Tamika Mumford, campus counselor. Photo.
What you're saying is you want those that are shorter in the middle?
Yeah, if you're shorter in the middle, if you're a little taller, please get on the edges. And we do, just because the lens is a little smaller, we do have to scrunch together. So if we can get to as close together as possible, that would be awesome. Okay, guys, we're gonna have to get a little closer together. It's gonna be a little bit of a tight squeeze, but I wanna make sure everyone is seen. Okay, we've gotta get a little closer. I think right here is my cutoff, so I just need like a little bit more. Yeah, scooch in. It's the end of the year, guys. Okay, on 3. 1, 2, and 3. One more time. 1, 2, and 3. Thank you. Congratulations, everyone.
All good, David? All right. So, there we go. Thank you. Oh, there you go. Nobody's coming up here now. All right, we're moving on to item 7, public forum. Mr. Martinez.
For each person present in the boardroom who wishes to address the board, you will have 3 minutes to speak. There are timers on each of the screens and one in front of you. I, the board secretary, will let you know when you have 1 minute remaining. Because of the topic posting requirements of the Open Meetings Act, Board members are not permitted to answer any questions posed to the board by the patron, and no action can be taken on any issue presented during this time. Due to this being a regular board meeting, you will be allowed to speak on any topic, whether it is on the agenda or not, that is relevant to district business or affairs. If you wish to ask questions of the board, you may submit them in writing, addressed to the superintendent's office, and the board may consider them at a subsequent meeting. If you are an employee or employee's representative, please be advised that the grievance policy deadlines are not waived. If you have documents to pass out to the board, please identify those documents and provide them to the board secretary. Finally, please be aware that the rules of decorum will be enforced during the public comment period. As noted in policy BED regulations, each participant is legally responsible for the content and consequences of his or her statements. And with that being said, can we have the clock up?
They come up.
First up is Colleen Nunez. Oh, the topic is benefits of FFA.
Good evening. My name is Kaylin Alvaro Nunez, but most people know me as Chicken because of my ag teachers. I am new to the FFA world as this is my first year, but I want to share what I have learned in my short time in ag. While participating in events, it has come to my attention that most people do not know what FFA stands for or how it helps students, so I want to show you. FFA stands for Future Farmers of America. And y'all may think FFA only involves agriculture activities. You know, saws, plows, and cows. However, that's not true. We have leadership, speaking, and community service. Our agriculture activities involve stock shows, milk testing contests, growing plants, and so much more. As much as I would love to give you the whole list of activities that FFA offers, we'd be here all day. But since stock shows seem to be one of the highlights, let me take a moment and look at the stock shows so you can see what the stock shows include. Stock shows include members showing chickens, cows, goats, pigs, rabbits, and lambs. Take me, for example. I raised chickens this year. I got 3rd place for the pullets, a young female chickens, and 13th place for the cockerels, a young male chicken. Afterwards, you go to auction to sell your placing or animal, and you earn real money. You still get to keep the animal. For example, I earned more than $1,300 from this year's auction, and I got to keep my chickens. My chickens fed my family for a couple of weeks, and we sold the rest. This gave me even more earnings. I didn't get there overnight, and I had to put a lot of work. Not only do you have to feed them, keep them, give them water, and also have to exercise them, their pens have to be clean. The hours add up.
1 minute.
Quickly, but I can say every minute was worth it. I learned a lot of things like time management, how to save and spend money. I even learned about feed and nutrition. I also learned how to communicate with others and how to work with members of our community that help us along the way. And it was through this project that I learned people who will be my mentors and role models for the rest of my life, and people that I will know I can call on if I need help. These are lessons and relationships that I'll carry for the rest of my life, and I can thank Manor ISD Agricultural Program and Manor FFA for these lessons. Thank you for providing this opportunity for my fellow members and myself. Thank you for your time.
Good job, thank you.
And the next speaker would be Mrs. Montgomery. And the topic is benefits of FFA.
Oh, okay. Hello, I am Gisette Brand Montgomery, and thank you for allowing me the opportunity to speak with you all today. As you probably know, finals have begun this week. As the current second-ranked sophomore and former first-ranked sophomore, grades are very important to me, and I work hard to keep my spot as an A-plus student. That's why I study for hours each day of finals week, especially for the subjects I struggle with the most. I have two of my most challenging finals tomorrow, and yet I'm up here giving a speech to the board. I understand that this could negatively impact my grades, but I realize that this is about so much more than just me. This is about the other 154 students that are currently a part of the Manor FFA chapter and continuing the legacy of the thousands of students that have been a part of the Manor FFA since 1935. The FFA may just seem like a club to you, but it is so much more than animals and farming, and even if it was, Manor and Texas itself are an agricultural hub. For instance, FFA students can participate in leadership development events such as job interviewing, public speaking, and marketing plans. As you probably know, as public officials, those skills can be applied to a countless variety of careers that may not have anything to do with agriculture, although again, jobs in ag and related fields are incredibly important. My point here is that the FFA has opportunities and lessons to teach everyone, whether they're interested in agriculture or not. The FFA is an incredible leadership opportunity that allows students to develop any and every quality that is necessary for their future goals, and even win scholarships to assist financially with this. In fact, during the 2024-25 school year, the FFA awarded nearly $2.5 million in scholarships to FFA members. And just this Saturday, I saw thousands of dollars awarded to students in local cities from Smithville to Killeen. And as we know, scholarships are becoming increasingly important for those students who wish to pursue higher education. I would like to add one more thing. I've been an MISD student since pre-K, and I've never fit into any of the clubs provided, but I finally found myself in FFA last year. I plan on doing animal research for my career, and the FFA has helped me gain the confidence to support my STEM-related goals. Please take all of this into consideration when you're faced with decisions about cutting funding. If you cut funding for classes such as CT and Ag, you're not just cutting a class where kids play with dogs. You're cutting classes that teach job, financial, business, networking, speaking skills, community service, and STEM opportunities. Thank you again for your time.
Thank you. Way to go.
Next up, Anna Thompson. Topic of discussion, benefits of FFA.
Good evening. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to speak today. My name is Anna Thompson, and since I came to Manor ISD in the first grade, I have been a UIL Superintendent Art Award recipient and an athlete at Manor High School. But my passion and goals are with FFA. When most people hear FFA or agriculture classes, they often think of the animals, plants, or welding. And while those are important parts of what we do, they're only the surface of something much deeper. FFA is not just about what we work on. It's about who we become. And we are the future farmers of America. For many incoming freshmen, high school can feel overwhelming and uncertain. They walk into a new environment searching for where they belong. FFA and ag education gives those students a place to grow, not just academically, but personally. It's where students learn how to lead, communicate, and believe in themselves. I want to share my own experience. I have struggled with anxiety for most of my life. Speaking in front of people has always been one of my biggest challenges. But recently, I attended our Star District competition and ran for a position on the district officer team. To even be considered, I had to take a test, go through an interview, and give a speech. Standing there, I was nervous, but I wasn't alone. My ag teachers believed in me, they supported me, encouraged me, and reminded me that I was capable, even when I doubted myself. And sometimes that belief from someone else is all a student needs to take that first step. Because of that support, I walked onto that stage and gave my speech. And I am incredibly proud to say that I earned a position as the president of the STAR District Officer Team. That moment didn't just give me a title, it gave me confidence, it helped me grow stronger in ways I didn't think were possible. It showed me that I could overcome my anxiety and use my voice. There are so many students just like me who are searching for a place to belong and someone to believe in them. If we take away these programs, we're not just removing classes, we're removing opportunities for leadership, growth, and confidence. FFA changes lives. I know that because it changed mine. As we prepare for next year, I encourage you all to think about the students still searching for direction and confidence. Ag education gives those students skills they will carry far beyond high school and helps create strong leaders prepared for the real world. I'd also like to invite each of you to join us on May 21st for our FFA banquet and see what FFA and ag education truly means to students like me. Thank you.
Good job, thank you.
Next up, Alessandria Garza. Topic of discussion, leadership culture.
Testing, okay. Good evening, Team of 8. I'm speaking to you tonight as a proud Texas A of team member and your 2024 Teacher of the Year. Schools have the power to change lives. Often teachers are told we make a difference in children's lives and they affect us. However, we're not the only ones who make change. Leadership, campus, and district level carry an impact. The manner in which administration of all levels talk to our staff matters. In times of low school ratings, our work environments should be encouraging and motivating, and that has not been the case at Decker Elementary. A colleague of mine often states, attitude reflects leadership. If we are only led in pressure and compliance, we lose our why, and we become exhausted. When communication from top down lacks respect, trust fades away. This is a lived experience in our district. This problem is the inheritance of central office decisions and expectations that trickle down to our students. Our cycle is not sustainable. Manor wishes to be the best district and to keep their talented staff and attract talented staff, but we are losing them because of the culture that we have at our district leadership, myself included, as part of the reason that I'm leaving. Manor ISD deserves leadership rooted in empathy, collaboration, respect, and servant leader mindsets. Our families deserve servant leaders who are ready to work with them. Our hiring practices must be evaluated. We need to ensure that we are hiring people who reflect these values, who are ready to do the work alongside our families, and not make decisions that are just easy for adults. We should make decisions that is the best for our campuses and for our scholars. Another colleague often tells me, if we don't have these values, we are allowing an environment where staff work in fear of retaliation, job security, and even loss of opportunities.
1 minute.
We all answered the call to serve Manor ISD and our families. So Team of 8, I am making my plea to you to evaluate our hiring practices for district and administration leadership. Our students will feel the benefit when we do. As I've been reflecting on my time here, the 6 years as a young teacher, I'm gonna take the warm memories and everything you have gifted me. I am proud to be the educator that was formed by previous leadership that has made me strong and has given me the prep I need. I wish I could have stayed to see the change, but I know that you can do it because I've seen it. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Next up, Ms. Walden. Topic of discussion, Coach Bass.
Hello, good evening.
Good evening.
Thank you all for having me. I wanted to stand and speak on behalf of Coach Bass, who is a coach for my son who is at Manor New Tech Middle. Coach Bass is an asset to the athletes as well as Manor ISD. He drives from Killeen, Texas daily to show up for our scholars. Practice was held at 5 a.m. Monday through Thursday, and the gym was open. Again, he showed up for our scholars. Yes, our scholars are students first, always students first, and athletes second. However, sports are sometimes the only family that our students have. He is truly a resource for our students, and he is one that they can identify with and one that they can relate to. Education is hard work, but it's also hard work, and that is exactly the person that Coach Bass is. He is indeed a heartbeat to our Manor boys, not just New Tech, but Decker, Manor High School, New Tech High School, and the elementary campuses that are coming before us. He is more than a coach. He is a mentor. He is a safe space and a positive influence in the lives of so many students who need someone to believe in them. As a parent, educator, and a licensed mental health professional, I can honestly say without hesitation, losing Coach Bass would be devastating and will be a devastating loss for our scholars and our community. The impact that he has made simply cannot be replaced, and I ask that you truly consider the lasting emotional and personal effect that this decision will have on our students. I thank you guys for the opportunity, and I pray that you all will consider what we are saying as a community, as an educator, and as someone who works for the Manor ISD. Thank you.
Thank you.
Next up, Aisha Moore. On topic of discussion, unlawful termination and breach of contract, midterm termination without board action.
Okay, is that right? Okay. Okay, we can start. I think it's right. Okay. Ready? Oh, sorry guys, new here. All right, good evening. My name is Asia Moore. I am formally entering my evidence binder into the file to challenge the notice of contract termination dated May 8th, 2026, which was delivered via email. This separation constitutes as an unlawful retaliatory discharge, a material breach of my employment contract, and an unconstitutional deprivation of my property interest without due process. I direct the hearing officer's attention to 5 critical facts. First, please turn to tab 2. I sent a formal written email to HR documenting racial and implicit bias at 9:18 a.m. on Friday, May 8th. Exactly 7 hours later at 4 p.m., my badge and keys were physically seized in a summary de facto termination meeting with the exact HR official present. This extreme temporal proximity establishes a direct causal link for retaliation under Title VII and Policy DH. Second, please turn to tab 4. The district's claim of a performance issue under policy DCE is a bad faith pretext. My state T-test evaluations rate me as an accomplished and proficient teacher, and I have never received a single write-up, warning, or PIP during my 2-year tenure. Furthermore, the official job board proves the district posted my specific position on a vacancy on April 2nd, 36 days before any alleged incident occurred, proving absolute premeditation. Third, please turn to tab 4 again. You will see a personalized handwritten message from Principal Young delivered on Thursday, May 7th, the day before I was fired, explicitly celebrating my consistency, hard work, and heart, totally refuting the written claim of poor performance. Fourth, please turn to tab 2. My written email to Principal Young sent on Saturday, May 9th at 7:57 a.m. conclusively refutes any administrative defense of job abandonment, proving I remain ready and willing to perform my contract duties. Fifth, please turn to tab 3. You will see a written email from the Deputy Superintendent admitting that the letter falsely claiming handwritten delivery on Friday was never provided to me. You will also see the second notice where the district manually scratched out hand delivered and hand wrote the date confirming a severe 14th Amendment Loudermill violation. The remedies I am requesting to resolve this matter today. 1, immediate and total rescission of termination notice and full reinstatement to my 5th grade teaching position. 2, full payment of all contractual back pay, gross wages, and summer benefits through July 31st, 2026 to remedy the shortened payroll cycle executed on May 15th. 3rd, should the district refuse immediate reinstatement, I request a formal signed letter on official Manor ISD letterhead to classify this separation as an involuntary, non-disciplinary administrative separation to protect my active apartment rent insurance benefits. 4th, total expungement of these allegations from my permanent file, immediate release of my official Texas service record, and a contractually bound neutral employment recommendation for future positions. Thank you all so much for your time and consideration on the matter.
Thank you. Sorry, we missed the FFA form, one of the FFA.
So next up, and I apologize for that, Ava Arco, benefits of FFA.
Good evening, ladies, gentlemen, and members of the board. My name is Eva Arco, and I just want to say I'm very appreciative of the opportunity to speak to you all today. Before joining this program, school honestly didn't feel like a place where I was very involved. Being a part of FFA and being in the agriculture pathway while having Mr. McDonald as my Principles of Agriculture teacher changed that for me. I remember a time when I was told that he saw potential in me and wanted me to join a quiz team. He pushed me to work harder, helped me build confidence, and made me feel like my effort actually mattered. He didn't just teach lessons from a textbook. He took time to support students, encourage us, and help us grow both inside and outside our classrooms. Because of this program, I've learned responsibility, leadership, and skills that I know will help me in the future. Little did I know that there were other teachers in the program that would continue this encouragement. It amazes me that teachers are willing to pour their heart and soul into their students and the program they serve each and every day, even at 4 o'clock in the morning and at 11 o'clock at night. I know that I'm not the only student that feels this way. A lot of students rely on this program and on the support these teachers provide every day. These teachers have a real impact on students who have found a place where they feel motivated and supported. Fast forward to today, I joined that quiz team, I showed rabbits, I participated in contests, I became a chapter officer, I attended the Texas FFA convention, and today, I stand before you as not only a Manor FFA officer, but as a Star District officer where I serve more than 1,500 members across Central Texas. I respectfully ask the board to consider the impact programs such as the AG program have on students, the opportunities they provide, and the future that they give to students such as myself. I want you to consider
1 minute.
the positive difference these teachers have made in students' lives, including mine. We know districts across the state are facing budget shortfalls. But can we really put a price on the impact that teachers such as those in the AG program make on students? I know for many of us, their support has been priceless. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Thank you. Next up, David McIntyre. Topic of discussion, reflections, insight on staff. Mr. Bass.
Good evening. Thank you. Honorable members of the Manor Independent School District Board, my name is David McIntyre. I'm a retired administrator with 25 years of experience in education, including 15 years as a school administrator, most recently with Bastrop ISD. This school year, I've served as Mr. Eddie Bass's Region 13 Field Supervisor, and I've conducted 11 separate observations of his teaching. Based on my observations of his instruction, his interactions with students, and his demeanor during pre- and post-conferences, I believe I'm uniquely qualified to provide you with an impartial insight into his instructional practices and year-long interactions with students. I found Mr. Bass to be a caring educator who's genuinely interested in connecting with students and understands that he has a responsibility to be a role model. I've seen him assist students with student-to-student disagreements, academic questions, and minor injuries, all with compassion. I've also repeatedly observed students demonstrating high levels of motivation as they perform rigorous exercise routines for him, an indication to me that they care about, respect, and want to please their teacher. Mr. Bass has been open to my feedback and has consistently implemented my suggestions to strengthen his instructional practices. And over the last 4 years, he has shown strong dedication as a coach by arriving early to support students and staying late to ensure their success and safety. It's my estimation from our many interactions this school year that Mr. Bass is eager to grow, committed to self-improvement, and most importantly, is human. I hope you can see that Mr. Eddie Bass is a committed young man who is very much wants to be a long-term part of the Manor community and to contribute at Manor New Tech Middle School for years to come. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Next up, Chris Gadsden. Topic of discussion, Coach Eddie Bass.
Good evening. My name is Chris Gadsden, and I'm the boys athletic coordinator at Manor New Tech Middle School. For the past 4 years, Coach Bass and I have worked together to improve the student athlete experience on our campus. At New Tech, our mission is to stimulate the physical, mental, and social development of young athletes while preparing them to become responsible, contributing members of their community. Through athletics, we strive to create an environment focused on growth, fundamentals, character development, and positive relationships. Coach Bass has played a vital role in fulfilling that mission. Coach Bass helps structure and operate an athletics program that serves 330 boys every single day. He teaches fundamental sports skills and oversees our strength and conditioning programs. For the past 4 years, Coach Bass has coached football, basketball, and track and field. That commitment places him in season from the first day of school until April. Despite living in Killeen, he has faithfully commuted every morning to arrive on campus at 5:15 for practice that begins at 5:45. This past year, he also coached high school football after school. That means at minimum, he worked 13 hours a day, every day for 3 months straight, all while commuting from Killeen. For the past 3 summers, Coach Bass has invested his personal time facilitating strength and conditioning camps, not only for our boys, but for boys and girls from all 4 middle schools, both high schools, and even their younger siblings in elementary school. Additionally, for 3 years, he volunteered his own time to facilitate after-school study halls for our struggling athletes. Because of these efforts, our academic and eligibility rate continues to decrease year by year, while our collective passing rate improved from 70% in 2022 to over 85% in each of the previous 2 school years. His investment in student athletes also contributed to 14 district championships in 4 years. And while winning championships is not the purpose of our work as middle school coaches, these academic and athletic milestones are very significant to our students. And they reflect a culture built on teamwork, accountability, leadership, and character. They reflect a program that mentors young men by supporting their success and helping them navigate challenges with maturity. They reflect a coach who genuinely invests in the emotional growth and personal development of his athletes. Coach Bass is a coach that athletes literally run down the hallway to his class every day, literally. He is also a coach that former athletes return to our campus just to speak to him. This speaks volumes about the impact that he has had on our students. For these reasons, I strongly believe that non-renewing Coach Bass's contract would not be in the best interest of the students of Manor ISD, and I respectfully ask the board to vote against the recommendation to non-renew his contract. Thank you.
Thank you.
Next up, Legend Williams. Topic of discussion, Coach Bass, state track.
Good evening. My name is Legend Williams. The relationship I had with Coach Bass, he was my middle school coach for 7th and 8th grade. Coach Bass, we had a great relationship. He taught me how to compete. He also taught me what hard work means. You know, I always said I wanted to be in the NBA, NFL. He would always tell me, Steph Curry, he didn't get as good as he was by just playing. He told me that he shot 1,000 shots a day. Instead of looking at highlights, we would always look of how the NBA players, how they would work hard every day, what they would do, how they would train. NFL players, how they would go on the field every day for hours and hours. He told me that hard work didn't come easy. And also, he told me how to compete. My favorite memory with Coach Bass is in middle school basketball, you had a team called A team and B team, but we also had a development team. Coach Bass would play with the development team, and I don't think we beat Coach Bass one time. Coach Bass, you know, he didn't teach me he taught me that everything wasn't always about sports. Him and Coach Gaston, they taught me how to be a great young man. If you didn't know, the high school basketball team this year, we went to the 3rd round. This is the first that we have been ever. A lot of people on our team was coached by Coach Bass. Without Coach Bass, we would not have made it that far. He taught us that we need to work together and compete. And hard work always pays off. And that's really it. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
And last on our list is Mr. Eddie Bass.
Well, I didn't really write a speech. I just really came here to pretty much stand here so I can hear the results of whatever, you got from everything that I sent in from my rebuttal to all the evidence that we presented before you. If I'm gonna leave anything out there, it's just, I've been here for the kids from day one. And, like we've heard before, some of us are human. We all have our mistakes. Some of us make them. And hey, in one of the situations, that was one of my situations. That being said, it's not a definition of what I am or what I have brought to this campus or what it is that I bring to this table. And I feel that I definitely deserve another opportunity to be here for my kids that I've been helped groom to this day. That's all I have.
Thank you. One more. Hazel.
I thought he said last one. Oh. Okay.
And apologize for that. Last on our list is Hazel Martinez. Topic of discussion, BTE mascot.
Good evening, members of the school board and Superintendent Sermani. My name is Hazel Martinez, and I am here tonight representing many families, my kids, and staff from Bluebonnet Trail Elementary. With me are Ms. Herb, Ms. Guerrero, Ms. Reyes, and Maddie. Yes, Maddie's right here. And as you can see, I came tonight wearing our school logo. For a long time, I wore this Rangers shirt with genuine pride, believing it stood solely for community, bravery, and teamwork. I mean, I even bedazzled it, okay? However, that pride turned to deep concern when I looked past the mascot and learned the true historical reality of the Texas Rangers. a history marked by state-sanctioned violence, exclusion, and systemic oppression. We cannot educate our students for the future while anchoring our identity to a terrible past. That is why I'm standing before you today. I am asking the board to change our school mascot from the Rangers to an icon that truly reflects our community's values, safety, and inclusivity. A school mascot should be a source of unity and pride. However, for many families in our district, the Texas Rangers represent a history of violence and terror. In the early 1900s, during a period known as La Gran Matanza, the Great Slaughter, historical records show that Texas Rangers participated in the extrajudicial killings and lynchings of somewhere between 300 to 5,000 Mexican Americans. I will spare you the details. You can investigate further if you would like. When we ask our children to wear this mascot with this rope, we are unintentionally asking them to celebrate a group responsible for historic trauma against the very demographics that make up our beautiful student body. Bluebonnet Trail Elementary is named after our beautiful local landscape. Our mascot should match that spirit of natural wonder and community resilience. Instead of the Rangers, we could become Bluebonnet Trail Bats, celebrating Austin's famous collaborative mammals that protect our ecosystem. We could be the butterflies, honoring the incredible migration that passes right through our backyards and school garden, symbolizing growth and transformation. Or we could be the armadillos, representing toughness, curiosity, and deep Texas roots. Changing a mascot is not about erasing history. It is about choosing what we honor in our present. Let us choose a symbol that every single child at Bluebonnet Trail can wear with joy, safety, and uncompromised pride. And so I return to this shirt and the logo our students wear every single day. We have a choice tonight. We can continue to wear a symbol rooted in a history of division, or we can choose a path of truth and progress. I want to wear the school's colors with pride once again, but that can only happen when our identity reflects the inclusive, honest values we promise to teach our children. I urge this board to take the first step tonight, initiate a formal process to review and change our mascot. Let's build a future we can all stand behind. Thank you for your time and your dedication to our students.
Thank you. All right, we're going to try to move, that's it, right? So we're good. We're going to try to move this meeting along. We're going to move on to closed session items 8.1, nomination and election of a vice president of the Manor ISD Board of Trustees. As our community knows, one of our trustees, our vice president, Dr. Mary Thomas, passed away in February, and she held our vice president seat. We since have appointed Ms. Lakeisha Small to fill that seat, that place, and now we need to, we decided that we needed to fill the vacancy of the vice presidency. So that's the historical context to that, and I can go ahead and take a motion from the board.
Madam President,
Yes, Dr. Lowry?
I nominate Stephanie Rodriguez Barnett to be Vice President of the Manor ISD Board of Trustees.
I have a nomination from Trustee Dr. Lowry to nominate Stephanie Rodriguez Barnett as the Vice President. Do I have a second? I have a second from Trustee Howard and Trustee Patterson. Both of them raise their hands. All those in favor? Congratulations, Vice President Stephanie Rodriguez Barnett. I think we, yay. Awesome. We're going to do a brief recess to adjust our seating. 2 minutes? You're moving this meeting along. Lots of great things to get through. Okay, 8.1. Closed session item. Sorry, I am going through a whole lot of paperwork here. I have 8.2. Regarding the contract. Mr. Eddie.
Madam President,
Trustee Patterson?
I move to terminate the employment contract of Eddie Bass at the end of the contract term and find that this action is in the best interest of Manor ISD.
I have a motion by trustee Patterson. Terminate. Do I have a second?
Madam, can I have discussion? Or we have,
First, I'll take a second. I'll make this-
second.
Okay. Okay, I have a second from trustee Rodriguez Barnett. Now we'll have discussion. Would you like to?
Yeah, I just wanted to let the team of 8 know that as a parent, I have had a professional relationship with Mr. Bass as my student's coach, and since he's coached my son, I'm going to go ahead and abstain from this vote.
Thank you, trustee Rodriguez Barnett. So I have a first and a second. If there's no further discussion, all those in favor of the motion, say aye or raise your hands. Okay, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4, 1 abstain. I'm sorry, 6, 4, and 1 abstain. Motion passes. We'll move on to item 8.3. Trustee Small.
I move that the Board of Trustees authorize the superintendent to negotiate and execute an agreement resolving a special education dispute consistent with the parameters discussed in closed session.
I have a motion by trustee Small. Do I have a second? I have a second by trustee Patterson. If there's no discussion on the item, I'll entertain a motion, the vote. All those in favor? Motion passes 7-0. And then we'll move on to item 8.4. On the recommendation of the administration, there will be no action taken at this time for item 8.4. We're going to move on to item 8.5, consideration and approval for hire of Executive Director of Human Resources, Dr. Tammy Williams-Hill or Dr. Sarmani.
Madam President?
Okay.
I move that the board approve the hire of Natasha Drumgoole as Executive Director of Human Resources.
I have a motion by trustee Howard. Do I have a second?
I second.
I have a second by trustee Dr. Lowry. All those in favor? Motion passes 7-0. Do we have our new HR director here? Congratulations. Welcome, welcome.
Ms. Dromgoole, I don't think you remember, but I think you and I met many, many, many years ago when I was an assistant principal in Austin ISD at the same time as you, so we got to talk at some point. But I am happy to have you, and Manor ISD welcomes you. You are a great steal, and I can't wait to tell our old friend from Manor, Willie Watson, that you're joining us, although I'm sure he already knows.
Yes, sir, he does. Thank you. So to the board and Dr. Sarmani, to Dr. Tammy Williams-Hill, I am honored to be here and to be recommended for the Executive Director of Human Resources for Manor ISD. I look forward to building strong relationships and supporting our staff to be able to serve our students. Manor ISD has a strong sense of community and partnership, and I am very excited to partner with these campus leaders and our families to continue creating opportunities for all of our students to thrive. Thank you again for your trust and your confidence in me, and I am very excited to begin this journey together.
Thank you. Congratulations and welcome to Manor ISD.
Thank you.
All right, so we're going to move on to superintendent update, item 9, 9.1, 9.2, and 9.3.
All right, well, good evening. As always, we have our student safety update, and I'm 1 percentage point off. It's actually 83% of all the items have been cleared by the Texas Education Agency from the district vulnerability assessment. We are going to be conducting a full test, I'm just giving you early warning, in June of one last technology item. This security feature actually works, but TEA wanted us to work in a different way. I'm being intentionally vague because we don't want people to know those features. However, we will warn everybody ahead of time because a lot of people's cell phones are going to be ringing when it goes off. but that will be happening early or late May, early June. But it will bring us to 100% for the DVA. And so I know the team's been working very hard on that. We had to push back the installation of the weapons detection systems for the middle schools. It's going to be in June. They're on back order, but they are coming. And so we will have a launch to start in August. And so we'll work with administrators on that over the summer. Just a few other points of pride. We have a new industry-based certification earned this time, the Foundations of Accounting exam. So just want to call out 3 students who have now earned their CCMR indicator, and they are future accountants. Yep, see, Moises got excited, so they're going to be working for him. But just to call out the names, Karina Galarza Perez, Nasaraco Eru, and Eric Ramos. So congratulations, future accountants.
Wow.
We thought it would be fun to start highlighting some of our new industry-based certifications that our students are beginning to earn. So these were new. We also have a different kind of education certification that now kids are being able to earn. And so this is our first group that are getting their pre-professional certification in early childhood education. A lot of our students also become educational assistants, but we have 4 students who earned these certificates. They are also now CCMR, and we will also be I believe, Dr. Weems-Hill, we are going to be inviting them to apply once they graduate, and they will get the letter that says you have an automatic interview with Manor ISD when you come back to see us. And so those are Yamilet Aviles, Sherlyn Perez Macedo, Neva Nicole Brown, Whitley Marchetta Middleton. So congratulations to you 4. Yes, and if you didn't hear the news, we're going to get a really big banner, I heard, for this. So the Manor High School Early College Program got a designation with distinction, and what that means is the education agency groups early college high schools into like schools, and in our group, we were in the top quartile on several different indicators. I won't go down through all the list, but basically they're in the top part of the schools that they're compared with. So early college high school, not only did you graduate the most associate's degrees in Central Texas, but now TEA sent you a recognition also. So go Manor High School. We'll let you know when the banner comes so we can all ooh and ah as it goes up on the building. So one quick Manor ISD strategic planning update. We are very close to this being the very last time we do these. I've just realized today we have these beautiful mission and vision behind us. Maritza, we're going to have to order, I know, we're going to have to order new ones. But we do have a new mission and vision to present to you all. It will be coming on the June board meeting to officially vote it in. And maybe we'll move that vision and mission statement to after that vote so that we can say the new ones. But just so everybody knows, we are also have a big meeting on May 21st where all the teams are presenting their objectives on how they are going to accomplish the strategic plan. And so we're bringing back that large group that we had here, community members and students, to review the work of all the different administrative teams. Now, just a reminder, the administrative teams have had parents and have had students working on those committees on the work to help keep us grounded. But the 21st is going to be the internal meeting. June, after that, we will be sending trustees a copy of that so you can review it ahead of time and make any comments or suggestions. And then we will bring it forth in final form on June 15th. So really excited about that. I've been really kind of trying out that hashtag. And so I'll just try it out again. Just remember, we lead the way.
We lead the way.
We lead the way. And our kids are leading the way in so many different ways. And I just want to say one other thing about all these recognitions. I don't think, if you've never, I know Mr. Patterson has run a high school, but you don't understand how amazing it is for the number of state recognitions we get. You just don't get all these kids going to state, whether it's choir, powerlifting, robotics. You know, it is really something that we are blessed with, and we should be honored to watch our kids and what they're doing. So our kids are already leading the way. We're just making that the vision statement next. Okay. That is all I have for the update, trustees, unless you have any questions.
No questions? Okay, we'll move on to information item 10.1, CPM number 2. Chief Moises Santiago, Finance.
Good evening to my aide. I'll give an update on the CPM2. CPM2 reads not allow the district to be fiscally unsound. Just a moment ago, we were talking with Dr. Williams, and was just thinking about when we started doing all those budget adjustments and considering where we are right now. We have achieved, or we would be achieving at least 51% of our goal. If you look at our goal is to get to a 16.60 days reserves by June 2023. We're going to be slightly right under 15.2%, 56 days. Our two-year target is to be 114 days, equivalent to about 30 days reserves, 31.4 percentage, 114 days reserves. So on that graph where you see right there, the green arrow pointing down, that's where we are as of the end of April, and our target is at the end of June 2028 to be at CPM goal of 16.4, CPM 31.4.
Okay.
And here is just a summary of the estimated expenditures or historical expenditures and projected expenditures and the audited fund balance for the 24-25. We have a 12.3 audited fund balance that puts us at 38 days reserves or 1.3 months. That's our lowest months, when you saw the previous slide, that's our lowest point on the graph. By the end of this fiscal year, we should expect to increase our fund balance at least between 3 and 4 million. So that would bring our CPM goal to a 25.1%, or 3 months reserve equivalent to 91 days. We have two years to achieve our goal. And so for next year, if we adopt a balanced budget or a surplus budget, we continue on that trend, we should be able to achieve a fund balance of 32.6 million, which would bring our CPM to 31.4 or 3.8 months reserves, which is equivalent to about 114 days. You have any questions? You want to add anything to that?
Yeah, I just want to make one comment because we're really looking so long-term, and one of the things one of the goals that I would like to propose to us, not to vote tonight necessarily, but on the finances, is looking at 27, 28. And the reason I want to look at that is we really need to do something to keep up with inflation and also keep up with compensation. I think our staff has done an incredible job to get us to this point where we are balanced and we're growing. But I want to begin to target 27, 28 as the year that we begin to really start focusing on being a leader in compensation in different ways as well. And of course, that's going to require either an increase in revenue, which is very possible with students, or it's going to require a decrease in expenditures somewhere. But I'm giving ourselves more than a year to begin to plan that out. I know prices are rising for staff too, and so we need to take care of them. And on 27, 28 is going to be that year that we get ourselves on a regular pace with increasing compensation. So just want to put that out there just as long-term thinking, and we'll begin to work on that plan together over the summer about how we might get there.
And these numbers don't include potential selling of land or anything like that. So this is like the bottom line scenario.
So the budget that we adopt does not include any sale of land, not even the revenues, not even the state comptroller or the state audit recapture funding that we receive. Does not include one-time payments. Okay? But the sale of land is included as when we rebuild the fund balance. That's kind of like an item kept in the balance sheet, but not our operating statement.
Yeah, succinctly, the sale of assets is included in these charts because we are predicting these. It is not included in any of the budgets we present. So we've always planned that there's going to be some level of sale of assets in order to rapidly build up our fund balance, because we haven't mentioned it in a while, just for the community, because we have rating agencies that are saying either raise your fund balance or we are threatening to downgrade your debt rating. So we do need to sell assets in order to raise funds as rapidly as they want. And just to be clear, any other way of doing it would devastate our district because we would have to cut so much, it would be just damaging. It was hard enough to get to where we were. We don't want to do any more. And we do have some assets that we are looking at. Of course, we don't talk about which assets. We discuss those in closed session because we don't want people to know what we're willing to deal with, and because that would give them a leg up on negotiations.
So what you have right here is our cash flow statement. It's our tool that has been guiding us, and also shows us our projection. What we have, the red line is our expenditures, which remain almost constant, and then you have those inflows or high levels of inflows of revenues dictated by the blue bars there around the periods of December through February. I do want to emphasize this point right here. In November 2025, if you notice that last year I came before y'all and asking to borrow about $30 million. Well, because we did not include it one-time revenues, we did not have to use the full $30 million that we borrowed. So if you look at November 2025, you see some small bars right there. That's the one-time revenue. If we were to sell land, you're gonna see it like that, presented like that. But it is not included in our projected or in our operating budget. Our goal is to build that green line, build it, make it go upwards instead of downwards. So as we progress and rebuild the fund balance, you're gonna see that that green line is gonna start to reach low levels, not below the deficit of or zero amount right there. We are around the green arrow at this point, and later on in this meeting, our financial advisors will be presenting our proposal to borrow for next year. And the amount that we are anticipating to borrow, of course, is going to lessen as we progress in the following 2 years. It's going to be less and less until we get to a point where we don't need to borrow any more further. So the sale of land is important during this 2-year period, okay, to be able to achieve our goals and also to meet those the credit agency's requirements. And here's part of our long-term financial plan. This is something that we've been working since, or have already initiated since we started making some of these adjustments. It is not the entire long-term plan that we'll be presenting next month in the strategic financial plan. It's only part, but some of these items are already in progress. You want to talk about that?
And I also wanted to bring in back these couple of slides. As you know, we've talked a lot about trying to move money onto the instructional side and in support of our staff, but I want to bring a couple of these items back. It keeps moving, and I don't know why. Leave it right there. Perfect. So I just want to put this one before you again. I want to bring your attention to, first of all, the estimated cost of individual medical insurance. It is about $1 million, what we are proposing and putting into our medical health plan for our employees. Putting in that $1 million with some of the changes we are proposing to the healthcare plan offerings will allow us to continue to have a zero-cost option for all our employees. And I think that's an important investment in our employees, that they have that option as an individual. Now that doesn't mean for family and for spouse, but for the individual, which is by far the majority of our employees who do take health insurance, it's the individual that they have. So that will continue. So tonight, we're asking that you vote to invest that $1 million into that, and that is we are taking that into account in our balanced budget for 26-27. I do also want to bring to your attention that very top line. So when Mr. Santiago and I talk about a balanced budget, our little secret is that we're actually talking about a surplus budget. We just don't say that. And part of it is just that kind of that idea is if you don't think about the possible surplus, you will have one, which is, of course, what we need. And usually in districts, you get that surplus from the vacancies that you have during the school year because you fund them all. I just want to bring up that we are struggling to balance the budget with the inflation without touching some of that estimated surplus. And so we haven't given up yet. We're still kind of moving forward, but I wanted to alert you that means I may need to take into account some of the projected vacancies. And I haven't been doing that, and which is why I want to be upfront with you all that we may need to do that in order to reach that balanced budget without cutting instructional things. So just wanted to bring that forward. That doesn't mean we won't have a surplus budget, but it just means it's going to be smaller than we were hoping. One thing, and just to make sure it's out there because it hasn't hit us yet, is fuel cost. We just got notice from, we enter into a co-op agreement so that we've had the same fuel costs. I appreciate you gave us that permission, and Ms. Fernanda and Joe have entered in that. So we haven't been hit by any fuel cost changes because we've already pre-purchased. They are not doing that because of the volatility in fuel costs. So they said we're going to have to start buying fuel on the spot market. So that's going to start impacting us this summer. Unless something changes and they decide to enter into a new agreement that will allow us to buy at a lower cost. So there's a little bit of volatility and unknown. Fuel is a major cost for us. Buses run every single day over 100 square miles, so that is something that we're watching that's going to start eating into us next year. So.
You said the co-op is having us now buy.
So yes, the co-op is in place until the agreement expires, and they're not, normally every year they go out and say, lock in the price, but because of the volatility, they're not going to lock into a price. They're going to wait. They want to see the price get locked in at a lower level. So there effectively isn't going to be a fuel co-op for us that's not exorbitantly expensive. So they sent us notice of that just the last week.
A question, did they include the estimate cost?
Oh, the estimated cost? Oh, for the fuel? Well, they're actually not even going to quote us a cost, the TASB co-op, because they were going to wait until the volatility in the fuel market changes. In other words, they're waiting for potentially the war to end.
Okay.
Just for your information, on the TASB co-op works with actual expenses based on all of the districts that are participants of that pool. So there could be several districts in the entire state, all scattered all over the state, and they look at it's similar as to putting out an RFQ or in our request for proposal, and then they agree to a certain rate, and that's how they come up with rates. We do participate in several purchasing cooperatives to try to get the best rates out there. But in this case, we are looking at the fuel particularly.
And the reason why I asked the question is to understand if there was an estimate to understand, like it was based off inflation. Are we looking at a 5% increase, 10%? That way we can know the impact that it would be to the budget.
Those are parameters that are set by the state, by the TASB cooperative. I think it's the TASB cooperative, right? Yeah, they're the ones that pretty much do that, and they set their own parameters based on what the market, I guess, is.
But I'm sure we can go ahead and give you, because we're going to have to input a line item if something doesn't change. Since TASB co-op, I don't know that you got that email, Moises, is not going to set a price for us. We're basically working on the spot market now. So we're going to have to put a line item there at some point. But we can put that in the big rocks for you.
I do have a question. So I know there's a lot of different co-ops out there. So I'm just curious to see, what is going to be out there. Even co-ops that just formed, and they have each one their own specialty and other procurement methods. So I'm just curious to see, this is one of the few times that we're in this situation. I know we always, sign up a co-op agreement and lock down a rate and everything, but I don't think I've ever been in this situation that I recall. So I was just curious. I know there's so many co-ops.
Yeah.
And that's homework for you.
Yeah, on our business website, there's a list of all the cooperatives that we participate. And everyone, I think the largest one is the Buy Board, the TESB Buy. And they have different areas that they put out a proposal for. Usually a vendor receives a contract for about 3 years. I think that's the minimum they're required to be able to be awarded a contract, whether it's in instructional supplies or any other type of service. But yeah, we do participate in quite a few, and we try to renew those agreements with them.
And one other point of clarification, does this include all district vehicles, or are we only talking about bus transportation?
It would include.
Good evening.
Currently, we pay around $3 right now a gallon for gas, and it's a couple of cents more for diesel and so forth. But knowing where prices are at right now, it's cheap, right? The gas. We buy fuel, gasoline, unleaded fuel, and also diesel fuel for that. And roughly, it's about 200,000 gallons is what we get. Somewhere around there.
Okay.
So that's
And that does cover all vehicles?
all vehicles that we have, yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
And just another word, but we are looking at other districts as far as co-ops. So for example, the city of Austin also has a co-op that maybe we can piggyback off of.
There you go.
So we have looked and Dr. Shamani actually just skimmed on that a little bit, but we talked about that as well as there's not too many energy, they call them energy co-ops, right, out there. There's not too many energy co-ops, and because of volatility right now throughout the market, nobody's willing to set a price and say, hey, this is the price that we're giving you, or nobody's giving us estimates, like what Dr. Sharmani said, because nobody knows in 6 months, and this is something that they're gonna have to deal with for a whole year, because usually the contract or the agreement that we have is for 12 months, once we sign this. So that means that if they can procure all those gallons throughout, whoever's willing to do it, it's gonna affect all of us, right? And so, and also, what they're doing is that they're taking all the data from all the districts to see how many gallons total that they're gonna need. Are they gonna need 6 million gallons? Are they gonna need 8 million gallons? 10 million gallons? And then they base their price off of that.
Oh, for a second there, I blanked out on why I put this up here. So, one other thing that I want to let you know that we're doing with the budget that's a little bit different too. We are actually identifying items that could potentially be in a successful bond election for November 2026 if the board so chooses to call for one. So I'm hoping that in a future board meeting, we'll be able to quantify how much money saved in the maintenance and operation budget this year could potentially be in that bond election, so people know what the impact is on the budget that most people think of, which is the maintenance and operation budget. Okay, I think that's it.
Thank you very much. If we don't have any questions, we'll move on to the next agenda item. And where am I at? 10.2, there we go. 10.3, next, huh? No questions, yeah. So any questions from the board? So if there's no questions, we'll move on. Bond cycle.
Good evening, 10 and 8 again. Sorry. So just to draw your attention to a couple of things that we're doing on just preparing for the next bond cycle and looking around. We're keeping tabs on escalation costs as well. We're keeping tabs on construction costs. We're also keeping tabs on, any little things that are going out in the market right now with tariffs and so forth. And right now, that's what we have right now. Our partners are looking at that, and as they get a ding, they share that with me, and then we're capturing all that data, and I share that with our team for our next bond cycle. I do want to draw your attention to one of the slides here. Let me see. This last slide here, the project updates. So one of the things that we have moved on with is that at the beginning, when we were looking at all of our needs and when we did our facilities assessments, we were looking at Shadow Glen, we were looking at demographics, and that's where, we had over 90% or really close to 100% where utilization was at that campus. Moving forward, our demographer has reported already that we're not growing as they thought we were going to grow. So we're going to go ahead and pause that, the additional of that wing there. We had about a 15,000 square foot wing planned for that, but we're going to go ahead and put a pause to that. There's no need. It was around 11.2 million, 11.5 million. So that's something that we're going to go ahead and put a pause on. The next thing that we're doing is that we also added, we don't really know in the future what it holds, but we're always looking for land, right? We're always looking for a deal. And if somebody can sell us at a reduced cost or even want to give us land, we want to make sure that we have money in the budget for the next bond cycle so we can purchase that land where we might need a new high school, we might need a new elementary and so forth. So we're looking for that. So we added a line item for that as well. The next thing is that we had a 18-plus farmhouse out at the Manor High School. We want to renovate that and make that a lab. But in addition to that, we also want to add some big classrooms for that out there and some ADA compliant restrooms with a lift, one with a lift and so forth. So we went back and we added some square footage on that, and we added about $3 million to our costs for that, so we can bring that program in there. And those are basically the difference. There's some little things that go off and on. I'll report back to the board as things solidify, but for right now, those are the only updates that I have, the only big major changes that I have.
And we're meeting with the Facilities Community Committee mañana, no?
That is correct. We're meeting with the FAC tomorrow, and we're even going to take them on a field trip. So they're going to get to see one of our nice campuses, or campus that needs attention.
And trustees, I will be inviting you on a trip as well, because I know I've had a couple of trustees request that.
Yes.
And so we will have an optional trip, give a couple of different times for you to see the same thing we're going to show the FAC team.
Field trip.
That's right.
Yes, and I definitely appreciate that. I know I was one of the board members, especially with some of the ongoing repairs that we need for our facilities. I think it's important for us as trustees to be able to walk those campuses as well. So thank you for that.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, if there's no further questions from our trustees, I don't see any more.
I have a question.
Okay, yes.
I have a question. In terms of bond best practices, we had a district pass a bond that was about a third of the state bond package. And I'm wondering, when something like that happens, do you, or whoever's responsible for bonds, do you kind of collaborate with those guys or find out what they actually did to pass a $6 billion bond and raise taxes at the same time, where we failed?
Yeah, that's a good question.
So how, like in educational terms, it would be like, oh, that might be a best practice. So we need to go learn what that best practice is. Anything like that transpiring here?
And I think that's more on the comm side, yes. We here's our secret. We steal everybody's comm stuff and we work it, but yes, we do. And we also noticed a trend in the Dallas area, not so much just Dallas ISD, but in the Dallas area of what they did. And so we plan on trying to replicate some of those things that we saw.
And I'm just very, I know a lot of the Dallas people over there and everything, so it's a really combination of a lot of things. And the North Texas, and I was very complete, and that's a good question, Mr. Trustee Patterson, because North Texas, I mean, it's a diverse political climate. You're not talking about Central Texas where, it's more difficult out there. I know, I've seen it, I've heard it, and they knocked it out of the park. So I want to explore everything too. So, no, thank you for doing that work. I think it's very important, and that's a good question, Trustee Patterson.
what really is on my mind is that it appears to me the perception that I have when interacting with community is that there's a lot of perception that this district had a history of misusing funds, and I'm telling these folks, look, if you go to our website and see our bond rating, this is why we talk about this stuff at board meetings, and it's why we're very diligent with our budget making processes over the last few years at least. I can't speak for the past, but I can tell people we've been diligent, we've been transparent, and we didn't raise taxes, and at the same time, we have buildings falling apart, and we need to do better for our kids. So if we call a bond this fall, I want it to be no excuses in terms of people saying, well, I didn't know just because there's some words there that doesn't mean what it says. I want us to, there be no excuses about transparency about what a bond could do for the kids of this district.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Okay, so if there's no further discussion, comments, or questions, I'll move on to consent agenda items.
Madam President.
Yes, Trustee Patterson.
Madam President, could you remove 11.8 from consent?
So I have a motion by Trustee Patterson to table. Oh, okay. I have a motion by Trustee Patterson to,
Request.
a request. So I would, so Trustee Patterson wants to remove 11.8. So we're okay? No objections? So then I'll take the motion.
Madam President, I move that the board approve consent agenda items 11.1 through 11.12 with removal of 11.8 as presented.
I have a motion by Trustee Patterson with that motion exactly as she said. And do I have a second? Okay, I have a second by Trustee Howard. All those in favor?
The motion was made by Trustee Rodriguez.
Yes, by Trustee Rodriguez Barnett, and then seconded by Trustee Howard. Thank you. All those in favor? Motion passes 7-0. Did I say your name?
And Madam President, I'm going to ask the school board if you could take no action on 11.8, and I will meet with staff and we will make a couple of tweaks to it that I would like to make before we present it again.
Okay, thank you. All right, so now we're going to move on to action items. 12.1? Okay, go ahead. Consideration approval of resolution authorizing the issuance, sale, and delivery of Manor ISD maintenance tax notes, Series 2026, and approving other matters incident and related thereto.
And actually, we are going to focus on the matters incident and related thereto rather than any resolution tonight. We actually want to bring forward some information to you. Earlier, you heard our presentation from Mr. Santiago, and he mentioned that there is a borrowing amount that we need. So our financial advisors from Estrada Hinojosa are here today, and they're just going to come up, and I will flip through this quick presentation, and they will be there to answer any questions you might have on what's called as the maintenance tax note. If you'll recall, it's about $18 million. Last year, it was $30 million. We are moving in the right direction. And so at this time, why don't you introduce yourselves to everybody?
Thank you. Good evening, Madam President, trustees, Dr. Sermani, members of the audience. Angel Magallanes with Estrada Hinojosa, Division of Texas Regional Bank. With me, Mr. Don Gonzalez, one of our managing directors for our division. So just wanted to touch base. I mean, as Dr. Sermani mentioned, you all have come a long way on where you were at and what you've been doing as a board and as a community. One of the things, though, that we still, and you're still working on is just bridging that gap on your reserves. And so this is a tool that's utilized by different districts throughout the state into building that bridge to gap for those years, those months in which the reserves are not coming in. So typically it's December, January when you actually collect your taxes from your local community. So before that time, that's when there is some need in trying to bridge that. And just to have some historical context, previously you had a note in 2024 for 13 million to bridge that gap. Last year in fiscal 25, it was 30 million. Much of the reason for that increase, Mr. Santiago will correct me if you had ESSER funds. You still had ESSER funds at that point of time that were being utilized. Fiscal 2025 is when ESSER funds were removed, and so that did put some pressure on the budget without having those funds present there. So the district did have to adjust there, and it's adjusted nicely as last year we went down to just borrowing for this year, moving forward for 18 million. So that's what we're looking at for this coming year. This is just a projected amortization. We just have a placeholder there of 5%. We're hoping for interest rates to be lower than that, but just like the fuel, banks are also getting nervous on how much they're lending out money. But so this is just a placeholder on how this would get paid starting in January through this end of the fiscal year of June 2027. Mr. Santiago has done a great job at just assessing your reserves and what's present. So in the last couple of notes, that has been paid earlier, and that has saved interest for your budget. And just the timeline, again, today is just a presentation on how we're going to proceed forward. Looking at this presentation today, we'll go out to banks, get some bids from banks, come back to you on June 15th for the board to take formal action on an actual bank and the proposed interest with the best terms for the district. I'll open up to any questions at this time.
So go ahead. You mentioned that we were able to pay the last couple of loans off early. That could be perceived by the public as we're requesting too much money, and that we're able to take care of it earlier. Can you kind of explain how we were able to do that so the public knows how we're operating with these loans?
Yes, sir. Our goal is to project conservatively. So by projecting conservatively, you project your revenues to be a little bit lower than actuals, which is the reason why we've been able to rebuild a little bit faster than what we are projecting. So that has brought in unanticipated revenues. So yeah, that's kind of I'm trying to project as low as possible so that anything that comes in is on top of what we did not anticipate it. So yes, the other thing is that we are not including those one-time payments. That has been a huge help. If you recall again, more than 4 million was generated in state recapture. Those are one-time payments, and they're not included in the budget, but they are included in the rebuilding of the fund balance in the long-term plan. Hopefully that answers your question.
Okay, so I have a question. Can you tell me, okay, so if we don't know what it's going to be like 5%, and so volatility, we've been talking about this whole time, fuel, everything. We're asking them for $18 million, right? You say you could go out to bids for banks. One, normally, how many bids have we gotten? Two, what if at that time, we don't know, interest rates haven't fallen or anything. Say it's 8%. How does that impact our monthly payment? And would you recommend to borrow more because the interest rates are higher? Therefore, you know what I mean? So, I'm just trying to figure things out because personally, myself, in my work,
No, that's a great question. Great question. So previously in the last two notes, you've been able to get approximately three bids on the last two notes. Ranging, this last one was at a 3.75% for the 30 million. And yes, there is some volatile movement there in the market, but Right now, where we're looking at in that 1 year marker, it is below that 5%. And a month movement, I mean, yeah, there could, a month movement, historically, there hasn't been that huge of a jump.
2 years ago, yes.
In a single month. But definitely, it's something, you would still borrow the 18 million.
Okay.
But
I'm just saying
it's
'cause
the
of the
interest, the interest is what's gonna just be higher. And it's something that we will look at and budget with Mr. Santiago there. But the 18 million is still the amount that would be needed, but it's the interest amount that would actually be slightly higher. And we'll budget with Mr. Santiago to make sure that if that were to be the case, we could comfortably pay that off in that time.
And we're only looking at loans that we can pay back early, like none that are going to give us the penalty, because historically we've been able to pay back early.
Correct. The banks have we put a provision there for the banks to allow us to pay the notes early without penalty, just pay the accrued interest to the time that we're going to pay that off.
I have a question. So, sorry. So, like, you put out bids and stuff, right? How do you attract, like, you know what I mean? People that really want to bid because we want the competition and the bid. Like, what, you know, I'm just doing it for our finances.
We first, to begin with, we email all the possible banks out there, from your large banks, from a JP Morgan, to Capital One, to your regional banks as well. So we will go out there first. The initial contact is an email that's sent out. Then we follow up with calls, make sure that they did receive the emails, and make sure that, you know, hey, that there is that interest, and make sure that they're reviewing that bid. And then from there, you know, every bank has its own appetite on what they're gonna bid on.
And you still have negotiations, you have
on their portfolios. The smaller regional banks, you know, they have smaller appetites on what they could actually bid on.
Okay.
The larger ones have a little bit more leverage because of their capital that they have behind them. So, but yeah, we would go out there and contact and reach out and make every effort to get the most possible bids for the district.
Is it possible to go back one slide? Go ahead.
For your information, we also try to include our local depository. So we invite Frontier Bank to also bid on this. Like he said, sometimes those smaller banks are the ones that have the hardest, cannot give us or for the lower interest rate. One thing that I also wanted to add on your question related to the amount of the borrowing, we also have to anticipate that next year is a legislative year. So we do not know what the state legislature is going to do to state funding. So I have to add a little bit of cushion in the amount that we're having to borrow, which is the same thing that we did the last time that we borrowed 30 million, though we did not use it all. But we have to anticipate those things that could happen, which we don't know of. So on this proposal, I added about 3 million more, just to be on the safe side if anything goes negative.
Yes, so I requested you to go back one slide. Madam President, you talked about the interest. And so here it shows that for estimated, the 5%, that the interest rate total will be 686,000, right? So that's would be the impact if it was to go up to like 8%, it would be 8% of that.
Correct, that's correct, ma'am.
Well, that's just making an assumption, right?
Madam President, so just a little bit of clarity there. So rates are set by the Fed, and that usually, that they typically will decide, I mean, that decides how much they go up or down. And really what we're looking at mostly is costs that the financial institutions will place on us to give us that loan. It's not so much that each individual financial institution sets their own rates. That's really set by what the Fed has going on at the time.
Well, they borrow from the Fed at that rate, and then, yeah, each institution does have their different rates depending on their portfolios and how they want to bid, how much they want to loan money out to.
Typically, is that a big difference?
We've seen it anywhere range 100 basis points. So let's say from this last one, for example, that bid in the 30 million, you had a range from a 375 to about a 410. So that was about a 35 basis point difference there. But I mean, yeah, you could see different differences depending on the
But we
banks.
wouldn't get a jump from 5 to 8.
I have not seen that. Don, have you seen that in your lifetime? Yeah, I mean,
Not, that's correct, Mr. Martinez. We would not anticipate something like that.
Right. So they set the rate, and then each bank tries to be competitive, so there's a little difference here and there. And I think mostly is what fees they charge you, right? For
Yeah, one of the distinctions here is we're actually borrowing at tax exempt rates, and with the district's very strong credit rating at AA- by S&P, AA3 by Moody's, the district enjoys that nice rating, and banks typically borrow at taxable rates, as you mentioned, through the Federal Reserve window. And so what they'll have to do is then make a conversion on that taxable rate to a tax exempt rate that they would bid for the district. And depending upon what they see as a spread between taxable and tax exempts, then they will come in at what they believe is fair to the market, fair based on the rating. And of course, from their perspective, they want it to be as high as possible, but they know because of competition that if they want to win the bid, they've got to come in at a very competitive level. So there's various factors that'll come into play, but you're right, the cost of funds is going to be largely driven, underlying cost of funds by what they can borrow through the Fed window and funds that they have on hand.
One last question, and I've always asked this every time we borrow money. You mentioned credit rating again. So this is like the second or third time we're going to borrow money. There's at least 2 more times. Again, where we are today, how is that borrowing us money again going to impact our credit rating?
Currently, for these banks, they like seeing progress, and that's something that you have done. As far as the rating agencies as well, they like to see progress and where you move forward with. So the rating agencies, they'll give you a window of opportunity to prove that you are going in the right direction, and that's a conversation that we will potentially have with a rating agency once we proceed forward, essentially with probably a bond, or just they'll sometimes reach out just for an annual surveillance on monitoring on see where you're at. But as far as the borrowing, it's not gonna really impact the rating. It's really the trend on what you're doing to increase your reserves, and that's really what they're really looking at. The reserves are above 10% at minimal, or above. They really want to see it above that 20, that 3-month marker. So that's going to be the important part of a rating agency, is looking at that reserve amount. As far as borrowing, again, you're borrowing less, so you're making progress, and so that's looking.
And the reason I'm saying that is I just don't want it. I'm hoping that it won't hit our credit rating, because also the credit rating also gives us a better interest rate when we. And the reason I always ask is because whenever we started again, it was nobody knew, and the answers that we were given was a little different. That okay, it might increase because we're borrowing, but it was a different situation back then too. So I just want to make sure.
You want to add?
Yes, I would just add that the budget challenges that the district has addressed have been the keys from the rating agencies in terms of the actions that you've taken. And that's been able to get us through the last couple of years of surveillance. And so they have basically given us warnings, and the district acted appropriately.
Okay, so I remember those were warnings then.
Right.
Okay, I just
And so there was a negative outlook that was put on the district. It kept the rating the same.
Okay.
Basically, they were saying, act accordingly or anticipate a downgrade. And the district not only acted accordingly, but from my perspective, I would say has not only acted accordingly, but has put together a plan, more importantly, a plan that you've executed on, that has brought down any type of deficit, has increased the fund balance. And I want to be a little bit more specific with that fund balance. They are looking at unassigned fund balance. So they really are looking at, are your cash balances that are available as opposed to fund balance that may be assigned to pay certain other expenditures. So when they see that unassigned fund balance increasing, that carries the most weight in their eyes. And in those specific metrics, the district has done very well. And I think that's, in large part to your leadership and work that the district has done to accomplish those things.
Thank you. All right. Thank you very much. If we don't have any further questions, discussions, we are good to go. Thank you so much.
We'll see you on June 15th.
Safe travels.
Thank you.
I know. We are moving on to action item 12.2. Consider nominate a trustee for Region 13 seat on the TASB board.
Madam President, I recommend that the Board of Trustees nominate you as a candidate for the Region 13 seat on the TASB board.
Thank you, Trustee Patterson.
I second that.
I have a motion from Trustee Patterson to name Ana Cortez as the Region 13 seat candidate, and then I have a second by Trustee Howard. All those in favor, say aye. Aye. Thank you very much. I appreciate the nomination, and we'll move on to action item 12.3, the consideration and adoption of resolution honoring Dr. Mary L. Thomas. And at a previous board meeting, we read the resolution of, in honor of our late trustee, Dr. Mary Thomas. Following the adjournment due to the open meetings requirements and agenda posting timelines, the resolution could not be formally considered at that meeting. By placing it on tonight's agenda, we're able to officially adopt the resolution and ensure it becomes part of the official record as we honor and recognize Dr. Mary Thomas's service. And so, can I read go ahead and
Make the motion.
motion first. I'll take the motion.
I move that the board adopt the resolution honoring the late trustee, Dr. Mary L. Thomas.
I have a motion by Trustee Rodriguez Barnett. I have a second by Trustee Patterson. All those in favor? Motion passes 7-0. So now I'm going to read the resolution. Dr. Mary L. Thomas, celebration of life of educational excellence and service. Whereas Dr. Mary Thomas devoted her life to the noble profession of education, serving students, families, and colleagues with unwavering commitment, integrity, and compassion. And whereas Dr. Thomas exemplified excellence in scholarship, earning advanced degrees and distinctions that reflected both her intellectual rigor and her steadfast belief in the transformative power of education. And whereas throughout her over 40 years in public education, Dr. Thomas championed academic achievement, equity, and opportunity for all students, ensuring that each child, regardless of circumstance, was seen, supported, and challenged to reach their highest potential. And whereas Dr. Thomas's contribution in public education included time as a teacher, principal, central office administrator, and as a Manor ISD trustee since 2022. And whereas Dr. Thomas served as a mentor and role model to educators and leaders, fostering professional growth, innovation, and a culture of collaboration that strengthened the entire educational community. And whereas her leadership was marked by vision, wisdom, and humility, inspiring those around her to pursue excellence not only in their work, but in their character. And whereas Dr. Thomas's contributions extended beyond the classroom and campus, enriching the broader community through advocacy, partnership, and service. And whereas legacy lives on the countless students whose lives were changed by her encouragement, the educators she mentored, and the institution she helped to strengthen. Now, therefore, be it resolved that her colleagues on the school board and the superintendent of Manor ISD, her team of 8, honor and celebrate the extraordinary life and educational achievements of Dr. Mary Thomas. Be it further resolved that we express our deepest sympathy to her family, friends, colleagues, and all who were touched by her life, And be it further resolved that we commit ourselves to carrying forward her legacy of excellence, equity, and unwavering dedication to students. And be it finally resolved that this resolution be presented to the family of Dr. Mary Thomas as a lasting tribute to her remarkable life and enduring impact. And we have presented the resolution to her family. All right. Confirmation of our next board meeting is scheduled for June 15, 2026. Do I have a motion to adjourn?
Madam President, I move to adjourn the meeting.
I have a motion by trustee Howard to adjourn the meeting at 7:47 PM. Do I have a second?
Second.
I have a second by trustee Small and trustee Lowry. All those in favor? Motion passes 7-0, 7:47. We did good. We had lots of comments, but we did good.